Hey, this is Steven from Wild Stuff. Welcome to the show. In this video, I'll be showing you the PD36R flashlight by Fenix, which has been living in my pocket for a few months now for everyday usage. I'll go through a basic overview, the things I like about it, the things I don't like about it, and we'll take it outside at night and shine it around a bit. Now, I've been a big fan of Fenix lights for quite a few years now. Here's a shot of the collection I'd amassed by the end of 2017. It was at that point I realised I had a problem. So I sold most of these off and just kept a handful of my favourites. For years, the PD32 2016 edition was my EDC workhorse. It went with me everywhere, day or night. It has 900 lumens and I used it with a USB chargeable 18650 battery. But now my new favourite is the PD36R, and at $100 it's definitely not a cheap torch. By the time you factor in the exchange rate and delivery, it ended up costing me 160 Aussie dollars, but I was aware of that and you get what you pay for. This is a top quality Fenix flashlight, not some bargain bin cheapie from a hardware store. So I won't dwell too much on the tech specs as you can see them on the Fenix website, but basically it's got 1600 lumens. It has a rear tail switch with momentary on. It has a side mode switch to toggle through 5 brightness settings and a strobe mode. It has a little battery indicator built into the mode switch. It has a 2-way pocket clip, so you can put it in your pocket or possibly a baseball cap or a molly attachment strap, something. It has a USB-C charging port hidden under this very solid and secure rubber flap. And it takes a newer, ever so slightly larger battery that holds 5000 milliamp hours. You can see it here compared to the older 18650 battery. In the box you get the torch, a battery, a pocket clip, a little wrist strap, a USB-C cable, some paperwork, a belt pouch, and a little packet with a spare O-ring and a spare tail cap switch. Apart from the cable, there's no actual charger included. You just use your phone charger or a power bank or any USB port. So, the things I like about it. Firstly, it's damned bright. The first time I turned this on in turbo mode and held it side by side with my PD32, the difference was very noticeable and I nearly blinded myself. The battery life is fantastic. I've only had to charge it once in the 2 months I've owned it, and it's been getting used in short bursts pretty much every day, at home and at work, and on several camping trips. Despite using a larger battery with much longer run times, they've still kept it relatively compact. It still fits neatly in the hand and doesn't really take up any more space in my pocket. I love the little battery indicator built into the mode switch. With older models, I pretty much just had to guess when they needed to be charged, but now I actually know. And the build quality, as with all Fenix lights, is fabulous. It's very solid and sturdy, and with the striking bezel here at the front, I reckon that could easily break a window in an emergency. It's waterproof and submersible to 2 meters for half an hour, and that's even without the rubber flap over the USB port, which is really only there to keep out dust and dirt. Now, things I think they could improve on. I would have personally preferred the design to be more like my PD32, where there's no charging port on the body itself, and instead you just take the battery out and use the charging port on it. That means no rubber flaps to break or damage, fewer points to get clogged up with dirt or dust or water ingress, and the charging port is safe and secure inside the torch body. That does mean, however, that you have to have that specially made battery with the built-in charging port. And despite my initial concerns, this rubber flap does click in very securely, and so far hasn't caught or snagged on anything. My main gripe though is this. The rear tail cap switch protrudes out further than the body of the torch, which makes it impossible to tail stand. I thought they nailed this feature on the PD32. You can see here how it's flat and recessed inside the frame, and tail stands quite easily, but not on the PD36R. Beyond possibly trying to use it with big winter gloves on, I can't think of any possible reason for designing the PD36 this way. It also means that on a few occasions while in my pocket, I've bumped the button, probably on my car seatbelt buckle, and not realised until some time later when I felt warmth coming through to my leg. But anyhow, these negative points are things I can overlook for the sake of the positive points. So let's take it outside and try it out. So I've got the camera pointed at a big tree, which according to Google Earth is about 50 metres away from where I'm standing, or 164 feet, or the length of an Olympic swimming pool. I've got the PD36R here in my left hand, and for sake of comparison, I've got the PD32 here in my other hand. And to finish up, here's a little footage recorded by my friend on his cell phone of me flashing my PD36R at him from 13.5 kilometers or 8.4 miles away. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more equipment reviews.